सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नाम रूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। We are seeing Anubandha Chatushtaya, the 4 introductory points which are presented generally in the beginning of any text, namely Adhikari, a person who is qualified to receive the benefit of the study of Vedanta, that is called Adhikari. Then Vishaya, the subject matter, Prayojanam, the benefit, and the connection between the text and the subject matter, between the knowledge of the Vishaya and the purpose. So these are the 4 points generally talked about. And generally we mention these points briefly. In fact, it may take 10-15 minutes to discuss. But here in this text, the whole chapter, in fact not 1, 2 chapters are used to discuss about these 4 introductory points. So very exhaustive discussion is there. And we are in the topic of Adhikari. Adhikari means a person who is qualified to receive the benefit. For every text there will be some qualified person. Like there is a book on mathematics, higher mathematics. Who is qualified for that? The person who has got basic mathematics. 3 plus 5 doubt is there. That person is not qualified for higher mathematics. So every text will have some adhikari. Here who is adhikari? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna. A person endowed with these 4 qualifications. Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi, Shatka Sampatti, Mumukshutvam. That person is qualified. And here incidental point is that Swamiji, I don't even know what is this Viveka Vairagya. Am I qualified to listen to Vedanta? Will I get any benefit? Or I should go back? So that question may come. So let me clarify that to the extent you are qualified, you will get benefit. And one thing I can tell you, all of you are qualified. Why? In a way, all of you are qualified. Why? The very fact you have come here in this rainy season, spending time, money, etc. You have come here, it means you have got some mumuksha. Some viveka is there that what all you are gaining in your worldly transaction is not enough. So some viveka is there. Some vairagya is there to let go of some comforts, because here the accommodation, food is not that comfortable as you have at home. You have got 1 bedroom and 1 drawing room and 1 living room. Here only 1 room. So in that everything you have to make. Bedroom, whatever, drawing room, whatever. So you have some vairagya. And some shamadamadi is there. That's why you are able to sit here. Otherwise you will get up and sit. That will happen. It is not happening. So all of you are adhikari to some extent. So you need not have complex. Because if a description will give, then you may be frightened. So therefore I am telling that all of you are adhikari. But Swamiji, if you are adhikari, do you mean to say that when we attend this 1 week or 4 days, not even 1 week, उसमें भी discount है. So 4 days camp, Shall we get moksha, Swami, that at 28th we will be bound and the 31st evening we will be completely free? So complete moksha. Really speaking, we are already free. Now also we are free. But that moksha, in terms of being free from any emotional dependence, etc., that moksha, will you be guaranteed? Are you guaranteed? We don't guarantee. Why? Because to the extent you are adhikari, to that extent you will discover freedom. It is said that to the extent you add sugar, to that extent you will be sweet. जितना गुड़ डालते हैं ना इतना मीठा होता है. So to the extent you add sugar or jaggery, organic jaggery, to that extent it will be sweet. So to the extent you are adhikari, you will be benefited. So everybody will not be benefited in the same manner. Even though all of you will be spending same time, same amount and all, still the benefit will be different. Why? Depending upon the preparedness you have. And that preparedness is talked about in this particular discussion. And in that discussion, that adhikari is the one who is having fourfold qualification. Some incidental discussion came, and that is, what are the main sadhana for Atmajnana? And especially aparoksha jnanam, direct knowledge. And the Siddhanta presented here is Mahavakya itself, when it is listened to by a person, that Mahavakya itself is the aparoksha jnana sadhanam, is the means for direct knowledge. You hear, you are Brahman. What is the knowledge you get? I am Brahman. So that I am Brahman is aparoksha jnanam. And this Mahavakya gives aparoksha jnanam. And regarding that, the objections are raised. Two objections were raised. The first objection was that Vakyam always gives paroksha jnanam, indirect knowledge only. That's what people call theoretical knowledge. The class we only get theoretical knowledge, then we have to make practical. So that is the orientation. So first objection is that words cannot give direct knowledge. Words always give indirect knowledge. And Mahavakya also are words. And therefore Mahavakya should give only indirect knowledge. This is objection. Okay, not that, oh, Swamiji, you are also telling the same thing. No, I am not telling. This is the objection I am presenting. And second objection is, the point of objection is that if Mahavakya, Tattvamasi Mahavakya itself gives aparoksha jnanam, then Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana will be useless. These are the two objections raised. For that, the answer is given. And the first objection was answered by saying that don't make a rule that words will never give this aparoksha jnanam, they will give paroksha jnanam only. That's not a rule. And that rule was dismissed by mainly the example of Dashamahatvamasi. When the 10th man is told that you are the 10th one, that sentence, you are the 10th one, this sentence gives aparoksha jnanam, direct knowledge. I am the 10th one. So it is not the rule that words will give only indirect knowledge. Words can give direct knowledge. Only two conditions are required. What are the two conditions? That the subject matter of the words should be aparoksha, direct. If subject matter is not aparoksha and if you think you got aparoksha jnana, is a bhranti, delusion. So the first condition for getting aparoksha jnanam from words is that the subject matter should be avyavahita, aparoksha, direct, directly available. There should not be any intervening factor between me and the subject matter. intervening factor in terms of time, space, or any object. This is the first condition. Second condition is that the sentence should be aparokshatva paramarshaka of the subject matter. Aparokshasya vastunaha vishayasya aparokshatva paramarshaka means what? That sentence should mention the subject matter in direct manner. The sentence should mention the subject matter in direct manner. If subject matter is direct, means it is not separate from me, not away from me. But if it is presented in indirect manner, then the sentence can give indirect knowledge. Like if I say, in this hall, Mr. X is present. And you might be seeing Mr. X also. It's aparoksha. But I am not telling it is here or there. It is here available, I am not saying. I am saying what? Mr. X is present. Then what type of knowledge you get? Indirect knowledge. Even though the person whom I am talking about, Devadatta, is present here. You are even seeing at the person. But still, I am present and you do not know that Mr. Devadatta, Mr. X. And I am presenting that Mr. Devadatta is present in the hall. So, the knowledge you get is what? Is indirect knowledge. But when I say, this is Mr. Devadatta, you did not know Devadatta, now I say, this is Mr. Devadatta, then the knowledge you get is what? Direct knowledge. So, two conditions required. The subject matter should be direct, should not be intervened by any factor, and the sentence should mention the directness. The sentence should present the subject matter in a direct manner. And these two conditions are fulfilled by words also, the aparoksha jnanam is possible. That was the answer given to the first objection. Second objection, that Shravanadi will be useless. For that answer was given that it is not that once person has got aparoksha jnanam, there will not be any obstacles in getting the result of jnanam. After seeing something directly, still if a person has got opposite views, contradictory views about the person being there, then even though person sees the entity, still he will have the samshaya and viparya. And we saw yesterday the example of virtue, that the minister was seen by the king directly, but the king was told earlier that the minister is dead and he has become ghost, and therefore even though he is seeing, in spite of seeing the minister, he had a doubt, he had opposite conclusion that really it is not this minister. Thus, Purupakshi's objection that once you get aparoksha jnanam, samshaya, they will not be there, that is not correct. In spite of getting aparoksha jnanam, still there can be doubts and habitual error. And to remove that, Shravanadi are useful. And this we had seen, Ataha Pratibandhaki Bhuta Dosha Nivrityartham Tena Shravanadikam Avashyam Avartaniyam. Since Pratibandhakas are there, Mahavakyena Brahma Paroksha Jnanotpatto api yasya antakarane asambhavanadi doshaha pratibandhakaha vartante. If obstacles are there in the form of doubts, etc., then tasya sakalankam jnanam, that knowledge which is fraught with the defects, naiva phalaya kalpate, it does not give result. Doubtful knowledge is as good as no knowledge in terms of its effectiveness. Because if you don't have knowledge, you cannot use knowledge because you don't have. And if you have doubtful knowledge also, you cannot use it. Whether in this item sugar we have to add or salt we have to add, doubt is there. Then what is that knowledge is not useful. You didn't know whether sugar is to be added or salt is to be added. You did not know at all. Now we have a doubt. then also it is as good as not having. If you did not know, you have to ask somebody. If you have doubtful knowledge, then also you have to ask somebody. So in terms of effectiveness, it is as good as not having knowledge. Therefore, phalaya na kalpate. And therefore, to remove those obstacles, shravanadi, shravana, manana, nididhyasanam are to be done. Last sentence we were saying, yasya tu punaha buddho mahabhagyavashat ragadveshadi karani bhuta sambhavanadi doshaha naiva vidyante. Tu punaha. However, on the other hand, yasya for a person, buddho in his intellect, in whosoever intellect, doshaha naiva vidyante. These defects are not there. What? Asambhavana, these doubts, viparita bhavana, opposite conclusion, which are the cause for raga dveshas. Since I have got opposite conclusion about myself, therefore I have got raga dvesha. I consider myself to be an individual. The truth about myself is what? I am all. All are nothing but my manifestation. That is the truth about me. But I consider I am only this. All other are my raga vishaya or dvesha vishaya. Some people I consider as source of my happiness. Some people I consider source of my unhappiness. Therefore I got raga dvesha. Why do you like somebody? Because that person seems to be the source of your happiness. In your perception, that person is source of your happiness. Really that person is not source of happiness. But you consider that person to be source of happiness, therefore you like the person. And somebody you think is a source of unhappiness. And therefore you dislike the person. But same person may be liked by somebody else. Like somebody is very strict in the office, etc. But at home he is very kind to or very generous to his children. They love his dad. The children love their daddy. Possible. So ragadveshas are there because I have wrong conclusion about myself. And those viparita bhavana, opposite conclusion and doubtful conclusion and doubts, they are not there in some buddhi. Why they are not there? Generally everybody has this problem. But some people don't have. Why? Mahabhagya vashat. On account of great fortune. It's an expression. So what is the meaning of great fortune? So does it mean that Bhagavan is very partial to that person? That Bhagavan liked that person and therefore he gave him this Mahabhagyam. And to me he gave Durbhagyam, all misfortune. Is it so? No. This Mahabhagya is another way of presenting the past karma, past sadhana. In the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that is what is said. Tatratam buddhi sanyogam labhate paurva dehikam. If a person has done lot of sadhana in this life and he could not reach the goal, destination, then what will happen to his sadhana? Is it that he has to start from the scratch? No. He or she will, in the next janma, will pick up the thread and proceed. That is why you see that some children in very young age, they have got inclination to spirituality, inclination to dharma, religious practices. And some people at the age of 80 also it is not there. Some jiva has got at the age of 8 also. And some don't have at 80 also. 80 also they say, I don't like Vedanta, etc. Waste of time. They say, let us go and enjoy some club, etc. They don't like it. 80 also they want only that gross bhoga. It shows what? That something is carried forward. See, carried forward in accounting, carried forward. So it is carried forward. And that is called here Mahabhagya. All of you have got Bhagya. That's why you have got interest and you have come here. Otherwise we have got resort also, jungle resort. We can go there also. There jungle resort. Some people will proceed only. Ye theek nahi. So why? Some people stayed and some people proceed. Because of the past samskaras. And that is called here Mahabhagya Vashar. On account of great fortune in the form of the sadhanas and satkarma done in the past janma. So Mahabhagya Vashar doshaha naiva vidyante tasya shravanadi vaiyartyam. For them, there is futility of shravanadi, which is ishtameva, is acceptable to us. We accept. Logically, we accept. I generally give this example. If you have a matchbox, then you want to light the lamp. Therefore, you strike the matchstick against this matchbox. How many times you have to strike? It depends. If the monsoon is there, a little bit wet, you have to try. Sometimes nothing happens, whole matchbox is gone. Matchstick is gone, light doesn't come. And if it is dry, then what? In one strike, you can light the matchstick. Similarly, if a person has got the background, raga, dvesha, the wetness is not there. There is wetness. Then your matchstick is very bright. So something somewhere she hears, and then it strikes. And he doesn't require any sadhana. And therefore, for those people, Shravanadi, Vicharatmaka Shravanadi Vayartham. Mahavakya Shravanam may happen directly, indirectly. Sometimes when samskara is enough of the past janma, and it gets activated. Alright. Evam cha, and thus Jnanasya Sakshat Karanam Mahavakyam eva. Evam cha means, and in this manner, Mahavakyam eva, the great sentences itself, themselves. Jnanasya Sakshat Karanam is the direct means for Aparoksha Jnanam. Here Jnanasya means Aparoksha Jnanasya Sakshat Karanam. The sentence listened to by the person itself is direct means for immediate knowledge. Na Shravanadi, and not Shravanadi, not Shravana, etc. Is Shravanadi are what are they doing? Shravanadi too. Whereas Shravana, etc., listening to, etc., Jnana Pratibandhaki Bhuta Asambhavanadi Doshapanayana Matram Kuryat. Listening in the sense of doing analysis of Vedanta Vakya with the help of these Upakrama, the Linga, and well ascertain the sentences, well ascertain the Tatparyam, and remove the possibility of having any other Tatparyam. This type of Shravanam and followed by Mananam, all of them are serving the purpose. How? Doshapanayana Matram Kuryat. They will do. Kuryat means they will do. Doshapanayana Matram, only the removal of the defects in the form of Asambhavanadi. This sense of impossibility, doubts, habitual error, which are Jnana Pratibandhaki Bhuta. Here Jnana Pratibandhaki Bhuta means Jnana Phala or Safala Jnana Pratibandhaki Bhuta. These defects which are the obstacles to the effective knowledge. And Tavan Matrena, because of this fact alone, that Shravana, etc., are removing the obstacles to get the result of Dhanam by this fact itself. Shravanadi api, even Shravana, etc., Dana Sadhanam are the means for knowledge. Iti, in this manner, Gaunya Vritya, in figurative sense, Uchyate, it is told. Dhanam, the Shravanadi are called the Sadhanam for Dhanam in figurative sense because they are removing the obstacles. Suppose yesterday we saw that an example that water is there in the tank, but there is air block. So water doesn't come to the water tap. Now, after this, whatever required to be done was done, and that air block was removed, and you got water. So what will you say? I got water because air block was removed. But if water was not there in the tank, will you get the water? No. Even if you remove air block, will water come? No. Water really comes because water is there. But still, air block did contribute to your getting water. Therefore, removal of air block also will be considered to be the sadhana for getting water. So, in the same way, the Shravanadi are removing the obstacles in the effectiveness of knowledge, and therefore Shravanadi are called sadhanam. Tatha, similarly, Vivekadi Chatushtayam api, even a group of 4 qualifications such as Viveka Vairagya, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, Mumukshutvam, also Shravanadi Upakaraka Taya, since they are contributory to Shravana, etc. Means, if I got Viveka Vairagya, then only Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam are possible. If they are not there, it is not possible. Therefore, this Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti is contributory to Shravanadi. Therefore, Dana Sadhanam iti eva uchyate. So, therefore, this Vivekadi Chatushtaya also is called Dana Sadhanam. Really, it is not producing knowledge, but it is contributing to the process of getting effective knowledge. Therefore, Vivekadi Chatushtaya also is called Dana Sadhanam. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is calling this preparation itself as dana. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, rajavam. Great, good qualities, values and attitudes. They themselves are called dana. Etad danam iti proktam agdanam vyadatonyatha. So, even though qualities themselves are not knowledge, but since they are leading us to knowledge, we call it dhanam itself. Sadhanam itself is sometimes denoted by the word sadhyam, denoted by the word which denotes sadhyam. So in Shastra we give the example Ayurved Ghritam. Ghee is called life, longevity. Nowadays people will not accept. Somebody ghee will in fact reduce my lifespan. Why? Ghee will cause cholesterol will cause heart block, the artery block, and it will reduce my lifespan. That's what people think. But according to Ayurveda, ghee is the means for longevity. And some people still believe that ghee is good for your longevity. So, ghee is the means for longevity, but ghee itself is for longevity. And this type of expression we also use. What? Time is money. Have you heard this? Time is money. Nowadays people don't say that. But I have heard this. Time is money. Time is not really money. If time is money, then I will go to the shop and say, like, take my 1 hour, give me this refrigerator. So something like that. But it is an expression. What does it mean? Time is money means time is the means for getting money. Time well utilized becomes the means for getting money. Therefore, time is called money. Petrol is called gold. Have you heard this? Petrol is called gold. Petrol is not gold. Otherwise, you can wear petrol. Instead of you don't wear petrol. It's very dangerous to wear. So, petrol is not really gold, but it is called gold. Why? Because petrol is the means for gold. We have already seen in the Middle East countries that petrol, because of that petrol, they have a lot of gold now. They say become a gold market, international gold market. I don't buy, but I'm just telling them. People, somebody, how do you know? I just read this. Okay. So, means is referred to by the word which denotes the end. And therefore, this Vivekadi Chatushtaya also are called Dhanam. And their Amanitvam is called Dhanam. And here Dana Sadhanam. Really, they are not Dana Sadhanam directly. But they contribute, therefore they are called Dana Sadhanam. Tathacha. Now this is the conclusion for the first topic, Adhikari. Tathacha. And thus, Vivekadi Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha Eva Adhikari iti Siddham. And thus, Sampannaha, a person who is endowed with Sadhana Chatushtaya, a group of 4 qualifications, or a group of 4 members in the form of qualifications, starting with Vivekadi, Viveka, etc., is Adhikari. So nobody else, Adhikari in Vedanta is not that you have to be a Brahmana, you have to be Kshatriya, you have to be male or female. That is not the consideration. Indian, foreigner, white, black, no, it doesn't matter. What matters is person should have Vivekadi Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Like for buying some gadget, you go. What is the qualification? You should have money. No, I am very fair, therefore you give me. That fair will not work. It is unfair to expect. So, you fair, you are Brahmana, Kshatriya, whatever. Male, female. वो लेडीज को हम नहीं देते ऐसे नहीं बोलेंगे ना. So you will give whatever you have money, you will be given. Similarly, if you have got sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, then you are adhikari. So this is a very important thing to know, because many times people have got complexes based on their gender, based on their nationality, based on their complexion, etc. Age, there is no such thing. In Vedanta, it is not said that only youngsters are qualified or only old people are qualified, above 60 only are qualified. There is no such thing. Whatever be your gender, whatever be your age, whatever be your class of in the society, Brahmana, etc., if you have got sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, you are qualified. You should not be, no, Swamiji, I am looking very ugly. No problem. Still you are qualified if you have got sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. It's a very important thing to know and get convinced of. That these qualifications make you qualified, nothing else. It is siddham. In this manner, it is established. And here there is a footnote on adhikari. The sadhana chatushtaya sampanna alone is adhikari. For that footnote is there. Ayam purushaha vedanta granthe adhikriyate. Ayam purusha means this person who is endowed with these fourfold qualifications is adhikriyate, is qualified in what? Vedanta grantha. In reading the text of Vedanta. So somebody may say, Swamiji, if somebody is not qualified and he reads Vedanta, will he not understand? Something he will understand. So when we say adhikriyate means falabhat bhavati, that person will be able to get the benefit of studying Vedanta. If you read this MS or what is called MBBS book, finally MBBS book, you also can read. But what will you understand? Is, was, that, not, that much only you will understand. Other things they will, even headache have got different name for that. The stomach ache, they will not have stomach ache. They will have some ITs, ITs. So they will say this ITs, So something ITs they generally add for pain they add. So we will not understand. But you cannot say that we don't understand some words, some sentence we may understand. But we will not get full benefit for which the book is designed. And therefore he said Vedanta Granthe Ayam Purusha Adhikriyate. And Tad Vichara Dwara Atmagdhane Adhikriyate. So where all he is qualified, that is said here. So that person or this person is qualified in Atmagdhanam, self-knowledge. How? Tad Vichara Dwara. Through the analysis of Vedanta Grantha. Where Tad refers to Vedanta Grantha. Through the analysis of Vedanta Grantha, this Grantha means text, this person is qualified in self-knowledge. And Atmagdhana Dwara Mokshe cha Adhikriyate. And he is qualified in the moksha through this self-knowledge. So he is Adhikriyate. Kutra Adhikriyate? Vedanta Granthe Adhikriyate, Atmagdhane Adhikriyate, Mokshe Adhikriyate. Adhikriyate means he is qualified, will get the benefit. Okay. So with this, the topic of adhikari is completed. Now the next topic. Vishaya Nirupanam. Nirupanam is presentation, description of what? Vishaya, the subject matter. Now the presentation or description of the subject matter of this text. And what is that? Ayam cha granthaha. And this text, which is technically a prakarana grantha. Prakarana grantha means expository text. This expository text, the text which is explaining this Vedanta, which is called Prakarana Grantha, called Vichara Sagara here, is Pratipadayati, presents, reveals what? Jiva Brahmaikyam, the oneness between Jiva and Brahman, the oneness between me and Ishvara. I and Ishvara are one. That is the fact revealed by this text. Ataha, therefore, Pratyak Parachitoho Aikyam Eva Asya Granthasya Vishaya. Ataha means what? Since this text is revealing this oneness between Jiva and Brahma, therefore that is called Vishaya. That is the subject matter. Yat Pratipadyate Saha Vishaya. That which is presented in the text, that is called subject matter. And that which is presented with the commitment, that is the main subject matter. Therefore, main subject matter of Granthasya, Asya Granthasya, of this text is what? Pratyak Parachitoho Aikyam. Pratyak Chitaha Parachitaha Cha Aikyam. The oneness between Pratyagatma, Jivatma, and Parachitaha, Paramatma, oneness between them is the Vishaya. So this text is revealing an equation. Like E is equal to mc square, no? This E is equal to mc square is such an equation that you feel something about it. See, I know science, E is equal to mc square. But I tell you, how do you derive it? That you don't know. Compound into, divide into, you have to use. So it is difficult. But at least you feel, no? Something after all, E is equal to mc square, Puja Swami used to say that in North India, people even though don't know so many mantras, but somehow they manage. But they perform marriage with Purnamada Purnamidam. Purnamada Purnamidam, and then okay, thoda akshat rakh do. Purnamada Purnamidam. So like that, he is equal to MC square, you manage. So there is an equation. And Puja Swami used to say very nicely. He says that equation is required when both the sides are factually equal. Means in reality, both the sides are equal. But apparently, they should be different. If 5 is equal to 5, if I write, is not a great equation. Even though it is an equation, but still 5 is equal to 5. What a big thing. So in equation, both the sides should be factually same and equal, but apparently they should be different. Similarly, this Jiva Brahma Aikya is an equation, the equation of Jiva to Brahman. So Jiva and Brahma factually must be one, same, but apparently they look different. And that is why it is the subject matter of Vedanta. And it is the subject matter of this text. That I, Jiva, who look very miserable, very small, inferior, that Jiva I am. Vedanta says, you are one with Paramatma, who is there behind the entire world, who is the cause of the entire world. That Brahman you are. If Shastra had told you are a king, then also he said, yeah, in my house I am king. Sometimes. Little big. But he said, no, you are Srishti Sthiti Laya Karanam Brahma. That equation is there. And that is the subject matter. Okay. Then, further, Granthakara says, Sarve Vedaha Tam Eva Artham Pratipadayanti. So, Granthakara wants to say that what is presented in this text is the content of all the Vedas. Means, what I am presenting in this text is not something my own. In our tradition, originality doesn't have any value. He said your originality only can be distortion. Distortion is your originality. There is no originality. Iti shushruma purvesham yenastadvyacha chakshire. That is our tradition. This is how we have heard. We proudly say that. In other field you say, oh, this I have heard from this. People say, what is your your contribution. So you always feel small when you are quoting somebody. You always have the pressure to prove that you have done this, you have done this. This is your thinking, even whether it is there really yours or not, but you would like to present it that way. Whereas in our sampradaya, in our tradition, we go by what has been said by the acharyas. Some people don't like this. He said, Swamiji, you tell your original thinking, You are telling this Shankaracharya says this, Puja Swamiji says that. Aapka kya hai? We have come here to listen to you. I said, I don't have my original, We are only milkmen. We are not milking the cow. We are just milkmen. Milkmen may not be doing milk supplier we are. थोड़ा पानी डाल के देते हैं बस. मिल्क सप्लाई डज दैट ना, थोड़ा पानी डाल के देते. तो हम वही करते हैं, जो हमने सुना है उसको डाइल्यूट करते हैं, थोड़ा जोक बोक वगैरह ऐड करके देते हैं बस. We are not producer, milk producers. Milk producers is Bhagavan Krishna. सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपाल नंदना. So we are not apologetic about it. वो क्या करे, हमको अपना कुछ आता ही नहीं है, जो सुना है सुना देते हैं. So whatever we heard, we are just telling. We are proud to be that. This we are very fortunate that we are not adding any distortion. Our job is to present the way we have listened to. Maybe some examples are added or some sentences here and there, but content and the method, prakriya, we don't change. So here Granthakara wants to say, Sarve Vedaha, all Vedas, tam eva artham. Tam eva artham is Aikya Rupam eva artham. The same subject matter of oneness between Jiva and Ishvara, Pratipadayanti, are presenting. All the Vedas are presenting that subject matter alone. What we are presenting here in this text, what is that? Jiva and Brahma are one, and that subject matter alone, all the Vedas are also presenting. Sarve Veda yat padamamananti, tapamsi sarvani cha yat badanti. So all the Vedas are revealing this one Omkara, which is indicative of oneness of Jiva and Ishvara. And thus, the Vishaya of this subject matter is Jiva Brahma Aikya, which is the Vishaya, the subject matter of Vedas. And that is why it is called Prakarana Grantha, Shastreka Desha Sambadham, that which is associated with the one particular aspect of the teaching of Shastra, that is why it is called Prakarana Grantha. Now, additional note here really is not required, but he wants to glorify this Advaita subject matter which is presented in this text, and therefore thoda extra note he puts. Itaha anyatha dvaitavadinaha. Dvaitavadinaha means dvaitam vaditum shilam yeshante dvaitavadinaha. The people who are talking about duality as the truth, they are called dvaitavadinaha. So we should not say that those who are talking of duality, they are dvaitavadina. Then we also talk about duality. And to negate also we have to talk. So dvaitam siddhantatvena vaditum shilam yeshante. Those who are talking about the dvaitam, duality as the reality, as the main subject matter of Vedas, in this manner who are talking about are they dvaitavadina. And they are what? Itaha anyatha. Other than this means what? Itaha advaita vishayat anyatha bhinnatvena pratipadakaha is therefore itaha anyatha. So dvaitavadinaha who are presenting the subject matter different from this. Different from this means different from this advaita. So dvaitavadis who are presenting the subject matter different from the advaita, they are what? Veda Bhashyaha. They are outside the fold of Vedas. And in our tradition, if a person does not believe in Ishvara, then also we can call him Astika. But if a person does not accept the validity of Vedas, we call him Nastika. Nastika means one who says that Vedas are not Pramana. So Veda Bahya means they are outside the fold of Vedas, Nastikas. Why? Veda Viruddhartha Vaditvat. Because they are talking about, Vadi means talking about Viruddha Artha. They are talking about the subject matter opposite to the subject matter of Vedas. Vedartha is what? Advaita. And they are talking about Dvaita. Therefore they are Veda Viruddhartha Vadi. Those who are talking about the subject matter opposite to Vedas. Opposite to the subject matter of Vedas. Therefore what? Veda Bahya. So they apparently they are Astikas. They say Vedas are Pramanam, Vedas are Pramanam. But really they are Veda Bahya. Because they are talking against, they are talking opposite to what Vedas say. Therefore Veda Bahya. So all dualists are Veda Bahya. Alright, this is a matter of fact. We are not like criticizing or abusing them. But just to make the listeners or the readers of the book understand the significance of Advaita Siddhanta, in this manner description is given. Otherwise we should not think that, oh, they are Veda Bahya, so we hate them. Advaita doesn't teach you hatred. Advaita tells that you are all whom to love and whom to hate. There is nothing to be loved anything specifically. There is nothing to be loved there is nothing to be hated. You love all. There is no particular person remains to be loved specially. And there is nothing to be hated because all are manifestation of yourself. Therefore, it is not for hatred. Just to make the reader understand the significance of understanding Advaita, this statement is made. Veda Bahyaha. So, Dvaitavadinaha, who are speaking in the manner different from Itaha Advaita, they are Veda Bahya because they are talking against the vision of Vedas. And he tells little more, Shathaha. Shathaha means those who are deceitful. And what is Shathaha? Guda Vipriya Karina. Those who are causing harm secretly. So they are outside, they will look like they are showing you the ways to reach God. But indirectly, they are keeping you in samsara only. Because you were born Dvaiti, nothing wrong. Being born Dvaiti is very natural. Everybody is a Dvaiti only, dualist only. By birth, everybody is Dvaiti. If you are Advaiti, you would not be born. So by birth, you are Dvaiti only. But you have an opportunity to understand the Advaita, your oneness with Paramatma, and that opportunity you have lost. And not only you have lost, but you are making others also lose the opportunity. Which is Swami used to say, Swayam confused, Anyan confusayati. What a grammar. So he is confused and making others confused. And therefore, Guda Vipriya Karina. Guda means secretly they are causing harm. And he gives the example of what Shathaha will be doing. Pratyaksham Stuti Kartaraha. Pratyaksha means directly or in front. In front they are doing stuti, means doing glorification. They will be praising you. You are wonderful, you are very intelligent, you are very generous. That is called Pratyaksham Stuti Kartara. In front they are praising. Parokshe, behind. Cha Ati Dushakaha. But when you are not there, in your absence, Paroksha means in your absence. When you are not there around, Ati Dushakaha means those who are criticizing. You must have some people in your life, those who tell you very nice thing in front. And the moment you go out, this fellow is idiot. How I fool him, he will say that to you, about you. say, I praise him, he is so much inflated and I get things done. I is idiot he is. But in front he will say, oh, you are wonderful, you are so intelligent, you are so generous, So that those people are called shataha. They are fraudulent, deceitful. So this Dvaitinaha have this, they are promising moksha and say that we are going to talk about moksha, our granthas are going to give moksha and you are very fortunate. They will say that also. You are very fortunate that you have come to this Dvaitam. If you had gone to Advaita, you will go to Naraka. Because Bhagavan says in the 16th chapter, what? Ishwaroham bhogi siddhoham balavan sukhi. One who said, I am Ishwara, tanaham dvishata kruran naradhaman. I send them to Naraka. Those who say, I am Ishwara, tanaham dvishata kruran. Then what is that? The text sentence is, I send them to Naraka. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna has said, whoever claims I am Ishvara, he is a Asuri Sampat person and Kshipami Ajasram Ashubhan Asurishu Eva Yonishu. I throw them. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, I throw them to Naraka. To whom? Who say I am Ishvara. And these Advaitis are telling, no, Soham, like that. They say like this. Therefore, where will they go? All will say Naraka. See, you are very fortunate. Some of you might have gone there, but Narayana saved you. You are so fortunate. Here, moksha is guaranteed. You will definitely get Vaikuntha. Do Ekadashi, do Japa, do some seva in the ashram, something better. Apna bhi kuch kar lete. So you do all this, and you will get moksha. So outside they seem to be your well-wisher. But indirectly, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, they are vipriyakarinaha. They are harming you because they keep you in samsara. And many ashrams have this policy. What? They will not allow you to grow spiritually. Why? If you grow spiritually, you will leave the ashram. And you are doing free seva in the name of karma yoga. So they need such people. They always say, you are not, I have heard this from somebody. One ashram is very popular ashram, I don't want to name it. But he said that ashram, they will, when we ask for teaching or something, they will say, no, do seva. Do seva only. We require only seva. And once in a while, this fellow will get angry also. So see, you have got so much kama, krodha, lobha. How can you talk about Brahmajnana? Don't talk about it. Do seva. That also is there. And that guilt, is a mechanism of controlling people. You find out some fault and highlight that. See, this is what you are doing. You have so much impurity. So much impurity. You require years together, if not janmas together, to get rid of this impurity. Then only you will get moksha. Then only you should think of Atmadhyana. Now you should not even think of it. This is how they do Guda Vipriya Karina. So that is all Shataha. So Dvaitis, some of them they knowingly and unknowingly, they are Shataha. They are indirectly causing harm. Why? Because you are born with Dvaita Buddhi and they make you die with Dvaita Buddhi. You are born Dvaiti is understandable, but you had an opportunity to have the vision of Advaita and die, means to leave the body with the vision of Advaita. That is the purpose of human life. And one is deprived, you are deprived of that vision. Therefore, the Dvaitavadinaha, he is calling Shataha. Alright. Just to be careful about the Dvaita Drishti is very, very attractive. One person told, Swamiji, when everything is going well, I am Advaiti. But some problem comes, so immediately I become Dvaiti. Bhagwan. Dvaita is it looks very securing. It looks very assuring, reassuring. Oh, see, I am Bhagwan. So if we worship Bhagavan, then Bhagavan will help us. In Advaita, I alone am there. When I am in trouble, nobody is there. So who will help me? But you don't understand when you have got Advaita Drashti, you don't have problem. But this Advaita is not most of the people are afraid of Advaita. Even Mandukya Karika, it is said, Abhaya Bhaya Darshina. So Advaita is little bit scary. Whereas Dvaita, what? Bhagavan says, I am there for you. Swamiji, I love to hear this. I am there for you. Bhagavan says, what is called Tesha Maham Samudharta Mrityu Samsara Sagara. Those who are worshipping me, I lift them up from the ocean. Swamiji, I am a very lazy fellow. So I like that type of thinking. What? Wherever I am there, Bhagavan should lift me to moksha. I cannot do anything, Swamiji. So most of the people, they like Dvaita. And it is understandable. We don't want to make them feel bad about being what they are. They are fine in their own place. But those who really want to grow, they should understand the limitation of this Dvaita Drashti, this sense of this duality. One has to see the limitation. That this is keeping me in samsara. And therefore this criticism is done. But here main thing is the Vishaya, the subject matter of this text is Advaitam, Aikyam, oneness. And as a sadhaka, if I really want to pursue Vedanta, I have to ask this question. Do I really love this Advaita? Do I really am convinced of the pursuit of moksha by the vision of Advaita? Or it looks simply as just imagination? I don't think it is possible. And I don't think anybody has got this vision. Nobody has got it. Nobody can get it. If that thinking is there, then your commitment to Vedanta will not be there. Therefore, two things. First thing is, I would like to have the vision of Advaita, and it is possible to have the vision of Advaita. When these two things happen, then only my commitment to this Vedanta, which is revealing Advaita, will be possible. Otherwise, once in a while we study Vedanta. That's okay. But commitment comes when answer comes yes. It is possible and I would like to have the vision of Advaita. This is Vishaya Nirupanam. That Prayojana Nirupanam is elaborate Nirupanam. Prayojana is purpose, will be talked about in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti